um, giving me the most auspicious opportunity to take or to lead or introduce the various students and various persons around the world into business, AI business analysis for business leaders. So just kindly give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Then we would move on from there. Right. So the purpose of this class, of course, is to learn as individuals, first and foremost. Secondly, also, we are going to ensure that we are able to use the necessary AI tools for our businesses and also our personal lives in general, because right now AI, the world is moving towards AI. Um, I'd like to welcome everybody once again to Transformations College's um, AI Business Analysis class, um, where we look at to provide a clear, practical, and educational understanding of what business analysis and AI is, right? How they work, and most importantly, how it's going to help you in your professional and your personal life, right? And we'll explore the capabilities, we'll address key considerations, and equip you with the knowledge to leverage these tools powerfully. Let me just take turn on my camera so that you can see my face, so that we it can be more personal. Right? I believe everybody can see my face and everyone can see me. You can give me a thumbs up. This is going to be a
Yes,
very
yes,
interactive class.
your video is
Yes,
active and we can see you.
sure. This is going to be a very interactive class. You can give me a thumbs up. You can type up in the chat section. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about business analysis. We're going to break it down for everyone. And to all Ghanaians on the call, happy Independence Day to all Ghanaians on the call. Today is actually a holiday in Ghana. Right, as you can see, I'm repping my Ghanaian jersey to be very patriotic for this momentous occasion for us. So it's indeed a very joyous occasion for me personally and for everyone in Ghana. I'd like to thank you once again, and we will move on or we'll move into the slide. All right. I hope my screen is still, sorry, my screen is still visible.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And so this is going to be a highly participative event. We're looking at ensuring that everybody has the necessary knowledge for business analysis, AI, and also look at some Babok techniques. And here, Babok will be the last thing we go into. So this is a concise, non-technical introduction for executive CEO, senior leaders, basically everybody on the call. We will learn what AI means from strategy to operations to competitive advantage, right? So it's going to be a 2 hour session. Of course, we'll take a break in there, about a 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes break, right? We'll come back to the session. I'm going to introduce you to what business analysis is. We're going to look at the definitions, roles, organizational values, right? We're going to look at the very fundamentals of business analysis. We're going to look at the very basics for AI, how AI and business analysis interact, right? Um, then we look at the bubble techniques, we look at the benchmarking, document analysis, surveys, observations. Then we'll look at some brainstorming sessions also in there. Of course, we're also going to do some simulations in the class. Like I said, it's just going to be one-sided. We'll also take time to look at how to prompt AI, how to get the necessary information we need from our AI systems, because the quality of data is also very important when it comes to AI. So before we even jump into AI, right? But before I even dive into that, right? I'd just like to ask my very first question, since I said it to be a very interactive one, right? When we say business analysis, right, what do we think it is, right? So before you answer, kindly introduce yourself. I know some introductions have been done. If you're going to type into the chat group, please do so. or you can go ahead and unmute and let us know your views on the topic. All right. So before we go into what do we think business analysis is, um, what are we looking at? What are we hoping to gain from knowing what business analysis is? There are no wrong answers. There are no wrong answers here. We are all learning and we are all striving to reach the perfection that is being AI aware and business analysis aware. So anybody, can you unmute? Let us know your thoughts. What do you think business analysis is? Let's start with a very hot question for the class. Anyone here? Anyone? What do you think business analysis is? If there are anyone, or if there's anyone currently working in the role as a business analyst or an adjacent BA role, you let us know. Let us just gauge experience in the class, right? Does anybody have an idea of what business analysis is? Does anybody know what it's about? Does anybody know how it can help us as individuals, also can help our businesses or our organization? Feel free to unmute or type into the chat. So Bisola says bridging gaps between businesses and technologies. Very right. Right? Very right. Any other suggestions? Afi says business analysis is the discipline of identifying organizational needs, problems, and opportunities, recommending valuable solutions to stakeholders to enable change. Very true. A business analyst from Elizabeth is an expert that interprets business language in a technical manner vis-a-vis. Now you remind me of my boss. He likes using vis-a-vis. Right. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Thank you very much, Afis. Thank you very much, Bisola. Any other? What do you think a business analyst is to you? Who do you think a business analyst is as a person? It's very important we are able to understand these things. So, Bisola once again says gathering requirements for businesses, both functional and non-functional requirements that enable change. Um, Ferranmi Savage, if that I pronounced it right, says business analysis. A business analyst is the process of transforming raw data into information to find trends and patterns to enhance decision making for business. Right. So I believe like majority of us now understand what business analysis is, and it's very important or it's very imperative that we actually understand what business analysis is and how it's going to help, right, our businesses and ourselves as a whole in this coming phase, right? So business analysis is not just about writing requirement documents, right? It's about solving the right problem, right? A perfect example would be that a doctor doesn't just prescribe the medication once you walk in. You know, you have to go through a thorough assessment, right, before the doctor prescribes medication to you. You understand? So here we are looking at, or we can say that it's the same for business analysis, right? Or the same for finding business problems, right? So business analysis, right, is the discipline of identifying business needs, problems, or opportunities, and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. We are looking at the important points in the definition here, right? that we are what identifying business needs first and foremost. We are also identifying problems or opportunities in the business, and we are recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Very important, right? It's very important. Now, the purpose is not simply to gather requirements, it's to ensure solutions solve the right problem, right? We are looking to solve the right problem. We're not just looking to solve a situation. No, we are looking to solve the right problem when you understand in a bit. So I have another question, right? Um, can anyone share an example where a solution was built that didn't actually fix the real problem? Probably you can give me a scenario from your office or from your daily life, right? That um, there was a solution that was built, or the solution that came up that didn't solve or fix the issue or the problem at hand, right? Anyone, you can put it in the chat, you can unmute. I think I would like to hear your voices. I think I'd love for you guys to unmute and talk to me so that doesn't look one-sided, right? Can anyone share an example where there was a solution, but the solution didn't fix the problem or it didn't fix the problem? Anyone? If you just joined, we are talking about AI for business analysis, and we are looking at what business analysis is, and we'll delve into who a business analyst is. Then we move on, right? So, can anyone give me an illustration where there was a solution but it didn't fix a problem? Okay, I'll start. I'll give a general one, right? So, let's say the we look at the nation's economy, right? And looking at the nation's economy, you could see that people within a society were not living or were living below the average means, right? And the solution was to elect the right president. But when they elected the right president, it still didn't solve the issue of livelihood or good living within the country, right? So that's a solution that didn't fix the problem. That's like one scenario. I think this cuts across, and we can be able to relate. Can anyone else give us another scenario or a solution that didn't fix a problem? It can be technological wise, it can be work wise or work related. You know, anyone. Am I still audible? If I'm still audible, give me a thumbs up.
Yes, you're still audible.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. My people, can we come up with scenarios where the solution didn't fix the problem? All right, someone's hand is up, I believe. If your hand is up, kindly unmute and let's hear you. I believe it was a Tai whose hand was up. If you're still on the call, kindly unmute. Let's hear you. Okay, so if you can't unmute, then kindly type in the chat. I'll read it out to the class.
You'll be able to unmute your mic. It has been, please kindly check again if you should be able to unmute your mic also.
So
Okay, all right.
Cynthia
Thank you
says,
so much.
okay, sure, Mr. Tai, go on.
All right. So the instance I wanted to give is in an organization where they are noticing a remarkable loss. Maybe there's a loss in sales, and they felt that okay, they need to actually increase the number of staffs that they have, maybe to pull out more effort is a solution, but the solution is not the answer to the problem. Maybe they should
Right,
have gone out for more marketing and all of that. So that's my instance. Thank you.
right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tai. Right, like just as he said, right? They thought the solution was to increase the staff number to what generate more sales, but it didn't fix the problem, right? Meaning there was an issue and they didn't know the core problem or didn't know the root cause of that issue. So whatever solutions they came up with didn't fix that. Thank you very much, Mr. Tai. Right. Cynthia says my phone wasn't charging, so I got a new charger, only to realize the charger wasn't the problem, but the charging system existed, right? At least Cynthia was able to know that it was a charging system and not the charger that was the issue. So getting a new charger didn't fix the issue, you know. Getting a new charger didn't fix the problem. Right? But then finding out that it was the charging system was the actual cause of the problem led to her probably changing the whole system just to rectify the issue. Right. So as a business analyst, your job is to what? Find the right issue and provide the solutions to that. So we have some points here, right? A business analyst is a bridge builder, a value creator, and a problem solver, right? So the bridge builder says that, well, acts as the link between businesses, stakeholders, and technical teams, translating real needs into actionable outcomes, right? For the value creator, it helps organization avoid wasted investment by ensuring clarity and direction before decisions are made. And a problem solver focuses on solving the right problem, not just delivering a solution, right? Focuses on solving the right problem and not just delivering a solution. Critical thinking is the core skill, right? Critical thinking is the core skill. So there's a lot of misconception that business analysts just take orders from stakeholders. And if you look at it critically, or if you take an in-depth look at who a business analyst is, we can say we are all business analysts or we are all business analysts, right? Everybody is a business analyst. One way or the other, there would be an issue that you would have to solve, that you would have to get the right requirements to fix the problem, right? So it's not just um, cut and go, you know, it takes time, right? So, so what our job is to question, to ask why until the real need surfaces. So if you take an example for the sales, like Mr. Tai talked about, right? Why? The real question is why aren't we able to generate enough sales to meet our sales target? Right? We need to ask the whys until we find out what the why is. Then we are able to get the right solution to the problem, right? The right solution to the problem. Now we know that I'm saying that business analysts are is everybody. Everybody is a business analyst one way or the other. But there are instances where you can take a step further to get certified as a business analyst for your organization. right? You can also do that, right? So in an organization where we are, we wouldn't say that a business analyst is a project manager because they do not own the schedule for the project, right? They are not developers, they do not write the code, right? But they are glued in between both, right? They find out what is problem and then they bring up solutions, right? And in any case, for business analysis, I hope I'm not moving too fast. For business analysis, you have to ask. We have what we call the five W's and one H. Or in this case, I'll say the five whys, right? Why do you need this feature? Why does it matter? Why hasn't it been addressed before? You ask the whys until you get the solution. Where do we go to? Who do we talk to? Um, when can it be done? Right? Then the one is how should it be done? Right? So business analysis or in business analysis or being a business analyst, your strength is in structured thinking, not technical execution. Any questions so far? If you have a question, feel free to ask them. You can drop your questions in the chat box. I would read them out, or you can unmute and let me know what your questions are. Like I said, this is a very interactive class. We are all here to learn. If you think I'm lying, or if you think what I'm saying is false, you can also come out and say, no, I don't understand what you're saying, or I do not believe in what you're saying. So you need to further clarify, or this is what I think, then we compare and contrast, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute and ask your questions or type them in the chat box. They will be read out and we move on. Right? Like we said earlier on, business analysis is the discipline of identifying needs, problems, and opportunities and recommending solutions to deliver value to stakeholders. Stakeholders can be yourself, can be your bosses, can be your family members, can be the government, right? Can be the police. All of these people fall under the umbrella of who a stakeholder is, right? Since there are no questions, we move on. So why do you think business analysis matters? Or why do we think business analysis matters? Why do we think it matters? Why do we think it matters in an organization or in our lives personally? Why does it matter? Anyone? I'd like to hear your perspectives for why we think it matters. You can unmute to let your thoughts or your views be heard. You can drop a comment in the chat. It matters because, Madam Wabi says, it matters because we want to excel in what we do and we are also in a competitive world, right? Very true. Very, very true. You want to excel in what you do and you're also in a competitive world. So, of course, you have to be business savvy. Your analytical skills need to be top notch, right? Any other person? Why do you think it matters to you? Why do you think it matters as an organization? Why do you think it matters for your organization, for your business, for your life? You know, studies show that over 60% of IT projects or projects in general fail because they are linked to poor requirements and that um, correct or right business analysis wasn't done before they ventured into that line of business, right? So 60% of all projects fail because correct business analysis wasn't applied, right? Without business analysis, organizations will spend millions building solutions that nobody requires, right? They build solutions that nobody requires. In this day and age, if you go and build your own personal calculator app and you put it in the Apple Store, I don't believe anybody will be interested in a calculator app on and uploaded on the Apple Store because right now it comes rightly with your device. So that's a solution, but does it matter? It doesn't matter. So you are not making any points on that, right? Mr. John says it matters because every business needs regular and update improvement to meet global demands. Right, that's true. Adetoye says it matters because it helps define and direct future as a result of past data. Very true. Right, very true. Right. So we'll go into why it matters. I hope my screen is still visible and you can still hear me. All right. So today's organizations face complexity, regulations, competition, and digital transformation. So, what business analysis does is that it reduces ambiguity, right? It ensures that everyone has a shared, clear understanding of what is needed before work begins. Imagine going to work. Imagine you were employed and you were not given a job description and you were told to start work immediately. And the next day you go to work and you're just sitting on your table, you don't know what to do. You become redundant, right? You become redundant. So there's no clarity, there's no vision there. So you do not know what to do. You're wasting time, you're wasting investment. Do we agree? If you agree, give me a thumbs up. Right. Right. It improves decisions, right? It provides structured analysis and evidence to guide executive and team level choices. Right. So you not just go to make decisions. Right? Especially if you're looking at the sales, what Mr. Chais talked about sales, right? If they had actually sat down to look at what the root cause of the problem is, they ask themselves the five W's and one H: why, how, who, where, when, what, how. I believe they would have come to a better conclusion than to hire more guys, which doesn't fix the problem. You see, so it improves decision making, right? It aligns technologies, right? It bridges the gap between IT capabilities and business strategies, avoiding misaligned solutions. So just imagine a bank, right, that uses a core banking application system, right? And instead of them to come up with a banking or mobile bank app that can help feasibility between them and their customers, they rather come out with a dating app. How is that? How is a dating app relevant to what a bank does as an organization? Right? These are misaligned technologies. They do not align. The IT capabilities and business strategy doesn't align, right? Because a bank has nothing to do with a dating app or developing a dating app, right? It doesn't service their clientele, it doesn't service their stakeholders, right? And manages changes, right? It helps organizations navigate transitions by defining impacts, training needs, and success criteria. Right? So without BA, organizations often build solutions that are technically sound but business ineffective. Without business analysis, you would build solutions that are sound technically, but then it doesn't benefit the organization. Right. Any questions so far? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Why business analysis matters?
Can you kindly introduce yourself? I can see Child of God. Can you give us your name? Or we take Child of God as your name?
Yes, you can take child of God. Oh,
Okay,
my name
okay.
is Adewale.
Mr. Dewale, the Child of God.
Yes.
Kindly, we are listening.
Yes, I want to say that are we actually looking at how we can use uh, IT to boost business, or we are looking at how business should be run, uh, you know how a
So,
business, yes, should
yes,
be run
please.
in terms of using models or uh, you know maybe formulas.
Okay, okay. So basically, we are looking at IT capabilities in the business world, right?
Okay, okay,
As the title suggests, we are looking at AI. The IT capabilities here are AI in business analysis or AI for your businesses, right?
okay,
So what we
okay,
are doing now is to help you better understand the importance of business analysis. Then, as we move on, we bridge business analysis with artificial intelligence, right?
okay,
And you'd
okay,
see, as we progress, you see the link between how business analysis and AI, since right now everybody's moving to AI, or AI is what everybody uses right now, how to be better, effective, and efficient as we go along, right, Mr. Dewali?
okay, okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're most welcome. And thank you for your question too. So this class
Okay,
basically is to let you understand how we integrate AI with business analysis and why it matters. So first and
okay,
foremost, I'd want you to understand what business analysis is, because day in, day out, we all use business analysis, or we all have some function of, or we all do some technical analysis as we move along in our decision making, in our movement, right? So
okay,
we are just going to show you that we are making you understand what it actually is, right, and how it will help you and your organization as a whole. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Adewale, the Child of God. Any other questions? Okay. So moving on. So next slide, we're looking at artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence. What AI is, what AI is not, is what we are looking at as time will permit, right? I believe everybody knows what AI is. I believe everybody uses AI. Before we proceed, can you type in the chat what you think AI is, right? Um, what AI has done for you, you know, if you think it is important in this day and age, let me know in the chat. Or you can unmute and let your voices be heard. Yeah, sure. A copy of the slide would be made available after the class. Definitely would be made available, right? So you can peruse it at your own time and familiarize yourself with all of these concepts, right? Very important. So it will be made available. Right. Anyone? What do you think AI is? AI is a modern tool that I use to perfect messages and email. Gene. Gene uses AI to perfect messages and email. Nice. There's a tool he or she uses to perfect messages and emails. Nice. I like that. AI is artificial intelligence, works for me a lot. I've been making use of ChatGPT whenever I want to come up with a write up. It's stress free. That's true. Thank you very much, Jean. Yeah, Jean is a she. So thank you very much, Jean. Um, Afis, thank you very much. He says basically AI makes his life very comfortable. He doesn't stress and gives him a lot of time. So ChatGPT is like his best friend. All right. Any other person? AI Oluwasegun says AI is used for his learning data. When you say learning data, what do you mean by that? I would like to understand what you mean, Mr. Mike, when you say learning data, because in the world of IT and AI, it means a totally different thing. Uh, Adedamola says AI is a tool I use to get an edge in my operations. That's true. He uses AI to get an edge in his operations. I think I'll take two more, then we'll proceed. Kindly, if you have anything to say, kindly unmute or type in the chat. Tai says AI makes planning very easy. I remember structuring a project using AI, right? Makes planning very easy, you know, makes planning very easy. And in the course of this, or on this journey that you're on for this class specifically, right? Since today is very introductory, we will go into some aspects of AI, but from the next classes, I think it will be more, or it's, I don't think it will be more in depth and more practical, right? So I think, or I believe you should have your laptops ready, or any device you might use for those sessions because we will be delving into what AI is, the various key concepts like I outlined today before we get there, and the types relevant to business. So we'll delve deep into it. All right, John says it simplifies bulky tasks, yes, especially if you need to summarize a document or something. AI does that easily for you. Right. So basically, what AI is performing tasks requiring human-like intelligence, right? Pattern recognition, language understanding, prediction, and learning from data, right? So basically, that's what AI is. Or we can say that AI is a technology that enables machines to perform tasks that normally require human judgment, you know, recognize patterns, making decisions, and suggesting actions using data, right? So some outcomes might be improved decision making and automate work, and depends on the quality and skills on data when it comes to the quality of the data you have, right? Um, what AI is not magic, right? AI is not human, and it's not always accurate. It's not always true. It processes data based on models and probabilities. It does not think, right? So it processes data based on what has already been input into that, right? So AI is not magic. It's not human. It's not always accurate. It's not always true, you know, right? Now, why data quality matters is very important because um, they say, or we say, garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you feed AI is whatever AI is going to give you back, right? So the quality of and diversity of data and also its relevance is very important, and it will impact the quality and the reliability of the output you get from AI, right? So we ensure that the data that we are putting into AI is very good, that we can get good responses. Also, we'll be looking at some prompts we can use to actually get the responses we require when it comes to AI, its use, and its interactiveness. Right. So moving on, some key concepts we have with AI is machine learning, natural language processing, automation, and generative AI, which is used in creating text summaries and ideas. Right. When we say machine learning, or what do we mean when we say machine learning? Can anyone help? When we say machine learning, what do we think, or what comes to mind when we talk about machine learning, or what do you think it is when we say machine learning? You can type your answers in the chat. You can unmute. What do we think machine learning is when we talk about AI? When we say AI, we know that it's a system to perform tasks requiring human intelligence, right? Um, we also know that it's not magic, it's not human, and it's not always accurate. That's some definitions for AI. Now, looking at the key concepts, when we say machine learning, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when it says machine learning? What do you think? Anybody? If you're still with me, give me a thumbs up. Now, give me a wave. So, Adedamola says it's a way of computers to learn patterns from data and make decisions or predictions without being directly programmed for every situation. Rick Godwin says code or machine language. Right. Anybody else? Anyone else? Machine learning, what comes to mind? I believe what Adedola said is correct. Rick is also very good. Right? Anyone else? I'll take the last one. Is Child of God says is the system program structure of a software automated process like AI, right? So basically, from all that we have here or all that was sent into the chat, we can say that machine learning basically is systems that learn patterns from historical data to make predictions or decisions, right? So they learn patterns from the data or from the quality of data that's been inputted into them to come out with predictions or decisions, right? Savage says machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence that allows computer systems to make future predictions rather than just outcome without being explicitly programmed. Right? So they get to make decisions without needing any form of input again. Right. So the next one is natural language processing. Natural language processing. Natural language processing. Right. So NLPs, as we call them, they enable AI to understand and generate human text and speech, right? So if you or if you notice or if you realized, right, now you have a mic session attached to most of these AIs, right, where you can click and instead of typing your request, you can speak to the AI and it responds. That's what NLPs are for, right? They enable the AI to understand and generate human text and speech, right? Then we move to automation, performing repetitive rule-based tasks without human intervention. So we do not need a human to be there to be able to do something. They perform it, right? An example is chatbot. Let me see if I let's do this. Let me open our transformation college site and we will get some clues on this. Let me check to see if we have chat box in there. I hope you can see my screen,
It's still loading up.
right? So this is
Yes, we can see your screen now.
this is the transformation college site. Now we can, if we look to the left, we can see that we have the WhatsApp pop up here, right? And when we click on the WhatsApp pass, I believe we should be taken to another page with or a pop-up will come up where we can actually have a discussion with the bots they have in place, right? Let me see if we can get that. So basically, what a chat box does is that they have all questions pre-installed that do not have or do not need human intervention, right? So when whatever you ask, or I'm sure everybody has experienced it before, you go to a website, you see a chat box, they are like, how can I help you? How can I assist you? You type in your issues, you receive a particular response, probably not the response you were looking for, right? But you will still get a response anyways, right? Just to show that um, they are active and they are here to help you in this sense. Let me see. Can you give me a moment? Let me just get this out of the way. Is my screen still visible?
No, it's not. We can't see your screen right now.
Okay. Can you give me a moment? So can you still see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen now.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Come again?
yes, you can see your screen. You can see
Okay.
your
So
screen
I have a
displaying
chat.
Zoom
Yeah.
content.
Okay, sure. I have a chat box open here. Right. As you can see, there's a message, hello there, need help, reach out, right? We'll get back to you as soon as we can. So if I type in hello here, it sends and it gives me an automatic response. I'm a Zenith bot. Before we go ahead, can I get your phone number and the rest, right? So this is for automation, or this is what goes into automation. So we already have the tax pre-planned, and the bot or the AI just gives us repetitive information till we are able to find the solution, or till whatever we are looking for is found for us. All right. Let me get back to the slide. All right. Then we also have generative AI, which most people are using today. All right. When we talk about um, Chat GPT, when we talk about Claude, when we talk about um, Gamma, Grok, all of these are generative AI. It helps us create new content, text summaries, code from prompts. So all of these things fall under the key concepts when we talk about AI, right? Any questions? Any questions?
I
Okay,
do have a question.
sure, I'm listening.
About how long do you think it will take for AI to replace human jobs, like the things we do now that people predict will be replaced by AI?
Yeah, I was looking forward to this question, and The answer is it would happen when there's an integration between humans and AI. When I say there's an integration between human and AI, I mean when humans and AI become one and the same physically become one. So you know how currently we have people or we have engineers testing robots. We can see robots everywhere, functionality when it comes to robots, and we can see that AI is now making jobs very easier. It's also very making it's also creating redundancy in the market, especially when it comes to tasks that can be done repetitively, right? We also have institutions who have started off working or offloading people due to the advent of AI because they believe that these bots and these these AI can do the work of human beings. My point is that will happen. I give it about 30 to 50 years, right?
Oh,
Or when we get the news that they've been able to merge man and machine into one, then we can say that AI has taken over from there. Because what AI lacks that humans have right now is judgment and emotions, right? What AI does is to support, right? AI doesn't necessarily give the final judgment on a thing. Right? If you ask AI, am I a boy? Based on previous information you have in the chat, it would answer from there. AI doesn't necessarily know if you're a boy or a girl. You understand? Until you've previously put information stating that you're a boy or a girl specifically into the tool or into the solution, AI can't give you a definite answer for that. So we can say in that regard that AI can't judge correctly in that regard. But once AI and human beings are merged into one entity, or and human beings are merged into one entity, then you can say AI would have taken over from there. So when it comes for jobs, also that's why we also advocate that people learn what AI is and understand what AI is and know how to use AI or to be able to develop AI. And that's why we are even in this course today. Because as we go along, we will teach you or we'll show you how to create bots, how to create AI, how to code it when it comes to machine language, NLPs, and the rest, right? We'll look at it in depth as we move along in the course. So gaining the knowledge and the skill on AI is also very important, very imperative in this day and age because we are moving to the age of transhumanism where humans and robots will become one, and that's when AI will take over, I believe. A lot of people might disagree with me, but that's how the future is looking for me. Because already we have like human-like robots, very human-like robots, but they lack the emotional bit, but they are very human-like. So we are moving to the stage where when human and robots become one, we can say that they have taken over. But right now, there's still a lot of time before that actually happens. Right? Are you fine, Jean?
yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Okay. So we'll move on to the types of AI relevance for business. All right, so we have generative AI, we have predictive AI, we have descriptive AI, and we have automation AI. Right? Generative AI is the chat GPTs, the Claudes we know, that helps us with drafting, reasoning, long content summaries, code design, images, right? We have predictive AI for forecasts, for predictions, future events, Then we have descriptive AI, summarizes historical data to explain what happened, why, and so on. Then we have automative AI, which are the bots, right, to reduce cost and increase throughput when combined with machine language. So these are the AIs relevant to business. Initially, some of you said that you use ChatGPT to reduce your workload because it relieves stress, right? Some also said that they use for structuring their project plans and the like. So we can see that there are a lot of uses for AI even now, and in the days to come, there will be greater uses for AI as we become more aware, or also we can say that machines also become more aware of themselves, right? Hopefully, they don't take over the whole world in the near future, right? Any questions? If you're still with me, give me a thumbs up.
Okay, my question, not really question, but a
Sure.
point to thank you very much so far. My name is Rick Godwin Edward. Uh, it's been a wonderful journey so far with you. Thank you for all you do. Again, just back to what the earlier well, let's say student asked the question, when at what point will AI take over? And well, you're just giving an example, probably the next 30 to 50 years. But I'm just trying to think aloud. Is there a point in time that, or are there basic job that human, okay, no, let me just rephrase it. Let me say it this way. Is there a point that human being will not be needed to do a job? Because I do know you as well as you do know that there are certain jobs that AI may, I say may because nothing is impossible with AI, may not be able to do currently. And also, secondly, considering the acceptability and accessibility of these in Africa. Africa is entirely a different world, and the way we accept these, I know that we are growing, we are coming up speedily. How do you think this is it's going to affect our own job? I'm talking about the other developed countries, how that they have advanced in making machine. I don't know if any African country has developed a machine. I don't know. I'm just asking in this direction. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Rick. Looking at jobs, right? Right now we have malls, so we have shopping centers where humans are not even needed, right? Machines or AI have taken over, and they are doing work seamlessly without fault, right? And also, so we can I can give you some specific examples. So people at the malls, right? People in who work at toll booths, who take money for receipts, all of these things. Well, and it also does comes along with the advent of technology and with the advancement of technology, right? That's why it's important that as the world is advancing, you are advancing with the world and you're not stuck behind, because sooner rather than later, some of these things begin to happen. Also, we also have to look at resources. It's very important. Resources. The reason why I say it will take a while is because although some of these things are happening, it's not major. You understand? Because you need a lot of resources and a lot of data and a lot of storage, right? And a lot of operating power, which is processing capability to allow AI to be fully functional in a world, right? Taking the African landscape, for example, when it comes to capability, we have skill, but we do not have the necessary resources to enable AI to fully take over, right? When we look at, let's take the businesses for example, and let's look at cloud utility or cloud utilization. In this part of the world, our billing comes in dollars. I don't know which country you're in, or so I'll just speak relative to what I know and what I believe is happening around the world. Billing is in dollars, right? So if you're going to convert your money to dollars to allow for an automation within your organization, I believe you'll be making huge losses even before you can even start to make or start to see the benefits of AI for your organization as a whole, right? And especially if you are being rewarded adequately for the amount of effort you are putting in for such automations, right? So in our part of the world or in Africa to say the most, once we have the necessary resources and the structures in place, right? AI's pickup will be very fast because we already have the resources, but we are not able to better process or articulate these resources to get some of these benefits here. So I believe for Africa, generally, it will take a while, right? In our more advanced countries, it might already be happening there. But in Africa specifically, it will take a while to get there because, first and foremost, we do not have a coordinated front, especially when it comes to our government, when it comes to the economy, first and foremost. When it comes to IT capabilities, although we are there, we do not have enough resources to meet the Silicon Valleys and the rest. So it will take a while, but it's coming, but it will take a while. Is that fine, Mr. Rick?
Yeah, thank you. The second one is, will is there any after this with these predictions that we have, is there a point in time that we will not need human being to do job, like menial job? Yeah,
Yeah.
whether
There'll
they are
be a
paid.
point where, yeah, there'll be a point where you wouldn't need a human being to come and pick up your trash to sweep the roads, because it's already being done in some advanced countries, right? So when it comes to very menial jobs, of course, we can have AI robots do that, and it's coming soon. Where, of course, of course, if you are in a very remote and rural area where you do not have internet connectivity, stable or strong internet connectivity or electricity or something, then you can say it will take time. But in advanced cities in Africa, I think we would get there very soon, sooner rather than later.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's very important that we know and understand what AI is, how it benefits us, and how we can use it for our benefits and for the benefits of our organizations too as a whole. All right. Any other questions before I
I also
quickly?
have a question.
Sure, Mr. Tai.
All right. So my question is, our point, like this is for the present moment now with ChatGPT and other AI tools. At what point would you say that we are overusing it, or we're not using it responsibly? Kind of like at what point, or is there any point
So
we can
when
actually get to there? Like, no, we are overusing it.
Yeah, so when you start to see that you do not take your time to think through stuff, but rather whenever something happens, you just go to your chat and it gives
Your
you a solution, then you know that
qualification.
is someone saying something. So at that point, you know that you are overusing the AI. When you start to use it for very normal tasks, like say you need normally no so AI is supposed to help, it's supposed to support, but it's not supposed to take over the role. You understand? So let's say you go to work and you are supposed to finish a report, and you go and you give, because you understand the prompt and the sequencing, right? You um just put in the prompt and AI gives you the solution, you present it to your management because probably you understand the system, right? So you do not take time to do due diligence, right? And you know that you're overusing AI, or you know that yeah, you've come to a point where you've become like a log, and AI has taken over your life. So you wouldn't want to get to that point because critical thinking is what makes human, and also having the being able to judge what is right. Because sometimes AI can give you a documentation or can give you solutions based on what information or historical data has been given to it, and then might not fit the situation at the time. So, like in the business analysis, that we were saying, so it doesn't actually provide the right fix to the problem, right? But because you are so over reliant on AI and its efficiency, right? You do not do due diligence, you just accept it as is, but it shouldn't be done that way, right? So you do not get to the point where you are heavily dependent on AI, but you use it as and when you need to, right? Does that answer your question, Mr. Tai?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So moving on, we're looking at what AI is in 2026, right? Or where we are. So here we have generative AI, multimodal AI, agentic AI, and enterprise AI, right? We can see that AI has matured significantly, right? From spreadsheets and business tools back in 1992. Right now, we have AI just doing your work for you. You input the data, AI comes out with a report, right? And you can see that as a business analyst, right, you do not actually need to master all of these tools such as Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, right? Perplexity, right? You just need to find the niche where you are and which tools help you within that niche to be a better version of yourself, right? So some of the top eight tools we have for business analysis here, like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Midjourney, depending on your workspace or where you are or what you do within the organization, some of these tools might be of very great help. All right, so generative AI, ChatGPT is mature, widespread, multimodal AI, which has to do with text, voice, images. We can get that also in generative AI. Agentic AI, where we have the bots, for automation purposes, and enterprise AI for security and compliance tools. Right, so all of these things are there to make our lives very easy and very seamless. All right, any questions? Any questions? Yeah, so you may give me a thumbs up. Yeah, still here, give me a thumbs up. Right. So Edith has been putting in some comments in the chat, right, saying that in very advanced countries, some jobs have been taken over by AI, self-driving cars, right? It wouldn't work here in Africa, but yeah, in some advanced countries, because they have the necessary resources, it works, right? Some fast foods have AI robots taking customer orders, and humans are no longer needed. Right? So it's happening, it's coming, right? And we need to be prepared for it. We need to be ahead of the game for it because it will get here sooner than later. All right. Now, we're looking at integration of AI and business analysis, which is a very powerful combination. All right. So AI excels at volume processing, excels at speed and efficiency, excels at pattern recognition, initial drafts, and summaries. What do human business analysts excel at? Right? Context understanding, stakeholder trust. Well, it might be changing, ethics and judgment, political navigation. Right? It might be changing, but we still have the advantage when it comes to that. We still have the advantage when it comes to that. Right? So AI enhances us or human beings by speeding up data analysis, reducing manual effort, and identifying patterns. Right? They also support decisions; they do not make them. Right? So you can't allow AI to be, or AI shouldn't be making decisions for you, because in the end, if there's a misalignment towards a goal, it's not the AI that they will blame; it's the human being behind the AI. Nobody will go and arrest AI because we can't find AI anywhere to arrest them. You know, but we can arrest the human being. So it's very important that as much as we are um, dependent on AI, we are not overly reliant on it, right? We are not overly reliant on it. And AI actually saves time. There's a chart I'm going to show you which shows that AI saves a lot of time. But once you have the right prompt and you have the quality of the prompt, right, you can be saved like 70% of your time when it comes to document review and the likes, right? So, and the time savings with AI, so document analysis, so 70 to 90% faster times when you're using AI. So you can see efficiency is up, right? Faster review and summarization, right? When it comes to requirements, elicitation, quick follow-ups and validations, we have 50 to 70%. Research and benchmarking at 80% with accelerated market analysis. Meeting notes, instant transcription and summaries, 90%. Right? So overall project time reduction has moved from 30 to 60% in 2026 alone. So AI is giving a lot of humans a lot of free time. It's saving up time for us, and it's very good because it's making us very efficient in our work and in our job roles, right? But we want to look at what are some of the risks that comes with AI. What are some of the practical AI considerations? Because it can't just be all good. It's a machine or it's man-made, so it can't all be all good, right? So ethical and practical AI considerations, right? AI may introduce risks that business analysts may actively manage, right? So bias, like I said, AI is very biased. AI is very biased to the data which it has been given already, right? So it will be skewed towards that direction, right? So AI models learn from historical data, and if that data reflects past bias, output will too. So as business analysts, we must audit AI recommendation for fairness, especially in HR, credit, and healthcare context, right? Because I believe quite recently, the Food and Drugs Board or the Ministry of Health, that is for ASEA and Ghana, sent out a notification that, um, or it's not even just in Ghana. I think Google, ChatGPT, and the likes said that AI can't be used for medical purposes because a lot of people were, instead of going to the doctor, they will type their symptoms in the chat. Raise by hand if you've done that before. If you actually were feeling feverish or were unwell and you actually use AI to diagnose yourself, kindly give us a wave. A lot of people do that. A lot of people turn to AI for solutions such as health related solutions or credit. And you should be able to go to a licensed professional for that. Kwabna says he does that, right? Yeah, Jean, sure, sure. We would have the slides available after the course, so I believe it will be sent to you, or you can reach anyone at Transformation College and ask for the slides. It will be made available to you. Right, right. So for medical purposes, people tend to ChatGPT. I have a headache, my eye is hurting. What medication should I do? And of course, it can't give you the right diagnosis because it doesn't know, right? So there's bias on that. Privacy, very important. A lot of people upload their personal information onto ChatGPT, probably for work purposes or personal purposes. You do not do that. You are feeding the robot with a lot of information that can be used against you in the long run, right? So an example is customer, employees, and sensitive data. I do not upload all of those things online. Cyber crime is on the rise, right? Cyber crime is on the rise. Now, if you take a picture in a location with just the littlest of details, your location can be hard. A perfect example is when there was this lady that took a picture, and in the picture there was grass in the picture, and someone online was able to get her location based on the grass and was able to get her house number based on the grass that was on her lawn. That's how widespread cybercrime is. So it's very important what we upload or what we type into or what we feed the AI, right? The next thing is hallucination. AI can confidently state incorrect facts, and this has been proven, right? Raise by hand if you knew the right answer to something and you still went ahead to ask AI and AI lied. Let me see a thumbs up. Let me see a wave. Right. AI is not always right. AI is not always right, especially when it has to do with statistics, names, legal references. You know, they can confidently lie because they do not have any emotions they believe their answer is right. And once you press them, they will apologize. But I know that the apology has no emotion back in it, right? So, yes, hallucination, right? And over reliance, right? So, we are responsible for validating and evaluating feasibility, especially when it comes out from AI or when it comes out from whatever inputs we gave it. You have to ensure that you proofread the information before you submit or before you use it, right? What are some of the risks for when we ignore AI? Right, we lose competitive advantage. That's one of them because we can't say that we are going because we believe that AI is going to take over the world. We are not going to use AI again, right? We still need to use AI. We still need to be on top of it, right? It can also cost us operational inefficiency. That would be since AI now saves time and reduces cost. If we still do not jump onto the bandwagon, we would incur costs and market relevance, right? Especially when it comes to your charts, your data flow, etc. It's important to have AI supporting. Now, I'd like to ask a question. In what areas do you think AI can improve your life and your organization? Right. So if we're so far everybody uses AI, where do you think AI has majorly improved your well-being or your organization when it comes to you and your organization as a whole? How has AI helped you in what aspects? Right? Where? So is it in cost? Is it in revenue? Is it in customer experience? Where in what areas has AI helped? You can type your answers in the chat or you can unmute.
All right, let me start, sir.
Sure.
All right. Okay. Personally, at the beginning of the year, I had the plans and everything I wanted to achieve this year. And then, so I saw a video on YouTube. So how you can use AI to, break everything down to make it operational, like to make it day by day. So AI really did affected my life positively in that regard because it made everything easy. And in terms of organization, particularly for Google Gemini, the image generation, yes, it has helped with publicity and media space. Where AI can be used to generate ads for the company. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tahir. Thank you very much. Anyone else? How has AI effectively helped you? Where has it helped you? So Ty said it has improved his time and his when it comes to organization, AI has helped a lot. Probably AI has helped you when it comes to your finances. You can let us know how AI has helped you.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Office Lawa. Hope you can hear me, sir.
Sure, Mr. Peace. Go
Yeah,
on.
AI has helped me a lot. So, like I said earlier in the chat box, so if I want to send a wishes or want to do a proposal as my place of work. So after I've written what I want to write on my own, so I should go on the Tcbt to paste it there for it to help me the write and the place. And at the end of the day, it will come out being better than what I've written uh, by myself. So it has really helped me a lot, and I'm impressed on how the ChatGPT has been helping my. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fee. So it has helped in his writing skills, it has helped in his project delivery, right? Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much, Mr. Fee. It has saved him time, all right? It has made his proposal more clearer and more focused. Okay. Um, in the chat, Oluwasegun says he has helped in his writing skills. Um, Madam Alberta says it has helped me to write letters properly because it gives me the right content to use. It has helped me to know about the company I am researching on. Right. Adetoyo says it has helped me with regards to directions to Power Queries development. Right. So we can see here that basically AI is doing a lot for everybody, you know, and it's imperative and it's very important that we take note of these things. Now, back to the slide where we have the AI tools, right? You can see, like I said, this thing it will also be shared that when it goes to all aspects of our work, our life, and our living as human beings, AI has specific parts to play there. So for context, for images, for videos, for summaries, for dashboards, yeah, helps a lot. Right? I won't lie, even this PowerPoint I have here, the images attached to it were generated by AI. So you can see that AI is a very powerful tool, which when used rightly helps a lot when it comes to your work, and it makes your work efficient and effective and clearer, right? Also very clearer, right? Any questions so far? Any questions? Right, right. So before we move on, we'll just do a very quick simulation, right, on AI, right, on AI. So let me just move to my or share the screen for the AI, but for this is generative AI that I'm going to be using for this particular inference. All right, so let me just give me a moment. I'll just open the AI book and we will move into it. I personally use Grok. Um, I believe it provides more descriptive information, right? So can you see my screen? Is my screen visible?
Oh, yes, it's still loading.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can still hear you, but your screen is still loading.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can anyone hear me? Can you see my screen?
Still loading.
Am I audible? Okay. I think my network might be messing up.
Yeah, yeah, we can see Grok now. Grok, the Twitter artificial intelligence.
Let's say we have a prompt. I believe you can still see my screen. Um, if you can still see my screen, just give me a thumbs up. So you can also do this at your end, right? You just draft. I believe everybody knows how to draft an email requesting for a proposal or something, right? And chat Grok. That's what I use. I believe gives the necessary information you are looking for, right? So for emails, for summaries, for messages, like Tai said, Mr. Uh, Rick said, you can use these things, right? ChatGPT is there, Grok is there, Claude AI is there. I recently discovered that Claude can do very, very good PowerPoints. I was certainly surprised as compared to ChatGPT and Grok. Claude does very good PowerPoints too as well, right? When it comes to images, when it comes to videos and the like, right? You can search out Mid Journey um, for your images, for your videos. You know, they provide very good graphical content. Let me share my screen. Very good graphical content. So this is Midjourney, midjourney.com, right? For your project, for your whatever you want to do, Midjourney has the right images once the right prompts are put in there. But unfortunately, it's paid. Now, if you want to go into you don't want to pay much, but you want to get quality work, we can look at Canva. Let me see if I can get this. We can look at Canva. I hope my screen is still visible.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so you can look at Canva for your images, for your videos. They have a very good free version that can help you with some of these things. Um, when you want to animate, so you can go to Midjourney, or there's this. For animations, just trying to find the ensure I have the right tool for you guys. We'll be dropping the tools also in the chat section, so that you can at your leisure you can have time to go through them and see which one works best for you. Right. For your PowerPoint presentations, like I said, you can try Claude or Gamma. Claude or Gamma for your PowerPoints. Also, you can integrate these AIs onto your spreadsheet. So in your Microsoft Word, your Microsoft Word, so this is Gamma, very nice images for PowerPoints for presentations. It gives you a lot of options, for that. All right. So there's a vast majority of things you can do with um, AI. And now you are able to integrate AI into your work, you know, get AI to do a lot of stuff for you, right? You can integrate AI into your Microsoft Excel sheet. You can integrate AI into your Microsoft PowerPoint. You can integrate AI into your um, Word, to help with some of these things, right? Also, um, like I said, the generative AI, once you put in the chat, so Adetoye, sorry, I just saw this. Do you mean if I send a financial statement to Grok AI, I can get a presentation and PowerPoint presentation? Yes, you can. Once you put in the right prompt. And mind you, this financial statement you're sending, I hope is not you do not have any sensitive data in there. If it just figures, that's fine. But if you have any sensitive data in there, you have to be careful. Right. So you can send your financial statement and ask it to develop it into a presentation or a PowerPoint, and you get it. You get it. Let me show you an example for a PowerPoint presentation that Claude did for me on this topic. On the very topic, I had the information already. I just put it in there to give me a PowerPoint, and it did. So, yeah, it will do that for you. So just give me a moment. Let me share this screen. Can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you
Yes,
can
I
see my screen.
can.
Yeah, so this is from Claude AI, right? I just put the information in there. It's very impactful. Um, very impactful. Like some of the slides I used were even gotten from here because they were very nice. You know, that's a great job, and I was so surprised. And this is AI. Once you put the necessary information in there, it will give you the right work, right? So the prompt needs to be right for you to get, like I said, garbage in, garbage out. So you should be mindful of the quality of data you're putting in there to get the expected results from AI. And there are lots of functionalities when it comes to AI. There's a whole range of functionality when it comes to AI. Right? Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions before we move on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
sure. Go ahead.
I wanted to just ask this when you talk about how much data we are able to give to AI. For some reasons, whether you there are some AI bot that before you go further, you must provide your email. And just like you and I know, your email contains several data about yourself, maybe your names and all. Now, are you able to? Is there a way? Are you saying that we should avoid providing those? Because of course they know my email. In fact, at one point I was chatting with, I was quarreling. I got a certain information or an image, and I say, well, this is not what I asked you to. I was telling the AI, I said, this is not what I asked you to do. This is very clumsy and cloudy. He apologized and said sorry that he didn't get that. And then he might mention my name. How did he get to know my name? Probably through my email. So how do we, when you talk about ethically, how do we manage those maybe basic information that they have about us?
Yeah, so when it comes to signing up, of course, when you're signing up to some of these platforms, they require that you sign up with your email and your name. That's how the AI is able to know your name and your email. Aside that, there are privacy or security controls put in place to safeguard whatever information you have inside your mail, right? So a lot of people do not actually read some of these terms and conditions that come with signing up to some of these platforms. Inside there, you might be giving out some rights or you might be giving out some accesses you wouldn't know about because probably it's a lengthy read when it comes to the acceptance or the signing up or into the platform. Right. So of course the AI will know your name and will know your email, so they will be able to talk to you as if they know you. But when I say giving out sensitive information to AI, what I mean is that once you are on that platform, once you're using AI, you're chatting the way you said you have an argument with AI, right? Whatever information you are passing onto it or into it shouldn't hold sensitive information such as your bank details, the name of family, probably your pictures, certain pictures you have, certain addresses to certain location, right? Or some things you consider sensitive to you as an individual and to your organization, right? Just because we want to be fast and effective or efficient in whatever we are doing, right? So when I say sensitive information, that's what I mean, right? Information that when you give out can compromise you or might lead to a loss to you one way or the other. Because whatever information we are giving to these AI, these organizations or these companies are selling them to third parties, and that's how come you can be sitting there, you might get a notification or probably you are browsing and probably something you spoke about just flashes on the browser, right? The companies are using whatever information to get you to or to tailor your viewership or your use towards a certain goal or to a certain endpoint, right? That's why and if you're doing security, information security or cyber security, we admonish people to be very discreet when it comes to chatting with AI or allowing, depending on whatever information you give out, you should I say, you should rinse it or you should filter it before you pass it on to the AI because your data can be used against you at some point in time. That's all we are saying. Are we good, Mr. Rick?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions? Yeah. So I mentioned Grok. Yeah, Grok is for um Elon Musk, Twitter, Grok. So it's an AI, such as generative AI like ChatGPT and Claude. It's very good PowerPoint presentation, I might say. Yeah, so you can try it out. And I believe Grok also gives more descriptive analysis than what ChatGPT or would. So personally, Grok is like a personal favorite to me. I'm not advertising, but I believe it goes in depth when it comes to information you're searching for. Mr. Adetoye, when you say prompt should be right, is there a way we have to define our prompt? Yes, was speaking specifically to a situation, right? That or whatever you want from the AI. So a perfect example, right? Let's say your financial reports, right? And you want a financial statement, or you want it in the PowerPoint, right? And you can tell it that um, uh, deliver a concise report on projections to the financial data inputted. I want financial data for this fiscal year relative to these products or these services, right? So you can be very direct, right? You can be very direct with it. So prompting is also very good. You can go to onto YouTube, right? And I think there are videos on there on to how to better prompt AI to get um, very good feedback. And I think I'll do that. I'll search for a link and drop it in the group on how to into the group on how you can better prompt AI to get very good information out of AI. Right. Afi says Grok is good if you want to confirm if a picture is real or fake. Yeah, Grok is very good. So you can try your hands at that. Right. So we can't moving on, right? We can't talk about business analysis without talking about Babok, right? We can talk about business analysis and AI without talking about Babok, right? So basically, what we're looking at is the what BABOK stands for actually is business analysis body of knowledge technique, right? And we're looking at techniques which are standardized, used to perform analysis tasks consistently and effectively, right? And techniques are much more than tools. You know, if you have AI is a tool. If you don't if you don't have the right skill and technique to use that tool, then you become redundant. The same way if you have the technique and you don't have the tool, you also become slower, right? So tools change frequently, techniques do not, right? A skilled business analyst can work without sophisticated tools, but not without techniques, right? AI enhances techniques, but does not replace analytical thinking. Techniques ensure analysis are repeatable, defensible, and understandable. Right. So you can see that it's very important to have a balance of both. All right. It's very important to have a balance of both because techniques give you a structure and it's repeatable, right, to approach an analysis and it makes you credible and what consistent. The perfect example is when um, a surgeon or a doctor doesn't improvise their incisions and follow established techniques. You know that this is what has been done before. This is what they do, so they actually know what they are doing and to do it well, right? Now, what we are going to do here is just we are going to look at two techniques. Babok has about a range of 50 techniques, but we're just going to look at two inside the 50 techniques, which is very important to integrating business analysis and AI. Right, so it also gives you an understanding of what you are looking for when it comes to AI and what you expect, and also will give you an understanding on how to prompt AI to get what you want. Right. So we move into it. Right. So these techniques that we have here will help the business analysis understand the asset state before recommending the to be state. You know, like we said initially, you need to understand what is going on to be able to deliver the solutions, right? So you don't just compare, you look at the situation, then you make the practical or you give solutions to them. Right. So the first technique is to um, research and data gathering techniques. Right. So the purpose here is to understand the current state, external influences, stakeholder needs, and constraints. Good data gathering eliminates assumptions and guesswork. Now, under research and data gathering techniques, what we call the benchmarking and market analysis, document analysis, surveys and questionnaires, observation, which is also job shadowing, right? Benchmarking basically is looking at comparing organizations with competitors or industry standards, right? So the question is, how do others solve this? What is best practice, right? What AI does here is what it accelerates this by scanning a larger market with data volumes, right? But you, as a data analyst, will determine the relevance or the importance, right? So you have a benchmark that you compare and contrast. Then AI comes in. AI is the tool which takes all of that data and simplifies it for you, the business analyst. Then you go in and deliver judgment on relevance, right? The next one is document analysis, right? We review existing materials such as policies, procedures, contract reports, etc. Right? We uncover hidden requirements, compliance obligations, and gap between documents and actual processes, right? AI comes in again, it summarizes the documents, and we validate the accuracy or the correctness of the information, right? For surveys and questionnaires, we collect structured inputs from many stakeholders efficiently, useful when stakeholders are geographically dispersed or quantitative insights are needed, right? Here we are looking for pattern and sentiment, right? Then we ensure that questions are well designed. As much as AI will give you questions, sometimes you just need to go back to tell the AI that this is not what I'm looking for. Do this, do this, do that. Like how Mr. Rick said, like he needed AI to give him a particular image. AI decided to do what AI wants, and Mr. Rick went back to tell AI that this is what I want, this is what you gave me. Right. So that's basically it. And observation, which is watching users perform tasks in real time, workarounds, inefficiency, and differences between documentation and actual processes, right? Because people rarely articulate what they actually do, right? So AI comes in here and puts it all together, makes it clear and direct for whoever is going to use the information for business analysts, right? So it's very important, right, to understand some of these techniques and how to use it to better prepare yourself or put yourself in a place where you become very relevant, right? It's very, very important. Very, very important. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay. So move on to the next one. Um, Stakeholder collaboration, right? Stakeholder, very important stakeholder collaboration. Right? So business analysis is people centric. Even technically perfect solutions fail if stakeholders aren't aligned, head, or engaged. Like I said, stakeholders are you, me, right? Our clients, our customers, our bosses, the government, the police. Stakeholders can be anybody, right? So what goes into stakeholder collaboration techniques? We need to brainstorm, right? Generate ideas without immediate judgment, right? Encourage creativity, diverse perspective, right? AI can also suggest alternatives, but human facilitation is very important, right? We can also have focus groups, which are structured group discussions to explore perceptions and group dynamics, right? As a business analyst, you must manage dominant voices and ensure balanced participation. It's very important, right? In interviews, right, provide deep qualitative insights into motivations, concerns, and expectations. Then the AI will transcribe and summarize, but the business analyst interpret the nuance and context, right? Like a perfect example is that this video is being recorded or this class is being recorded, right? AI will, after recording, will also transcribe what has gone on so that we can make sense out of it. You get it? Then last but not least is workshops, right? Very important to bring stakeholders together to define requirements, resolve conflict, and make decisions, right? Highly effective for alignment and buy-in, and AI assists in documentation. So you can see in all of this, AI is not the main front. AI is assisting or supporting. Basically, when the final judgment is needed, it is the business analyst or is the human being or someone who has prowess in business analysis that makes the final decision. So you can't make AI do the final decision for you. AI is not able to do that for you, right? Any questions? Any question? Any questions so far? If you are still with me, give me a thumbs up. Right, right, right. Good, good. Right. So it's important that we know how to integrate artificial intelligence with business analysis, right? It's very important that we know where AI starts and stops and where human ingenuity starts and stops, right? And we also know the intersection between both, right? Because if we want this thing to work and if we want to see the betterment of ourselves, and we would definitely need to understand what AI is, how it works for us, right? Then we move on to see how it works for others, right? Because even if, like we said earlier on, questions were asked on AI taking over jobs, and our most gracious edict told us that it's happening worldwide. There's some shops that are fully robotic and AI, right? You know, in all of these things, at the end, there's human supervision at the top, right? Because if AI is taking account, right, if there's an error in the code, all of these things can go downhill fast. So there has to be a business analyst somewhere who is considering the pros and cons of this and ensuring that as much as AI is doing its job effectively and efficiently, right? It's doing its job effectively and efficient, right? Any So these are some key takeaways, right? So business analysis provides it provides structure and ensures solutions solve the right problem through stakeholder collaboration. Artificial intelligence provides acceleration through automation, pattern recognition, and productivity, right? Basically, what the techniques are for Babok is to provide discipline and standardization, or a standardized method that remain consistent regardless of tool changes. So, as much as AI is advancing, right? Once you are consistent and you know what to do and you have the necessary techniques, right? No matter how the tool changes, you still be on top of your game. Right? So the real value comes from how thoughtfully these are combined, not from tools alone. So how humans combine the use of AI to achieve a goal is where we have real values. The tools alone or the tools by itself are inefficient and won't work. So the tools need or require human intervention or require business analysts or business analysis to allow for functionality. Right. So none of these three things will work in isolation. Right. A business analyst who uses AI without techniques will be fast but shallow. One who uses techniques without AI will be thorough but slow, right? So the idea is to just combine both with judgment, of course. Right. So, question: what is one thing from today's session you plan to apply this week? What is one thing from today's session you plan to apply this week, or what have you learned that you want to use this week? You can unmute. You can type it in the chat. What is the one thing you would like to do this week? What have you gotten from this course that you would love to apply this week? Anybody? What is the one thing from this course that you would love to apply this week? Is it the tools? Is it getting to learn more techniques, getting to understand AI better to make you more effective as a person? You know, what are the tools? What are the techniques, right? From this introductory course that you believe will help you moving on, right? There's also the attendance list in the chat section. So kindly fill the attendance form if you fail to do that initially. It's there, right? So Adetoye says, use of Grok AI for presentation. I'd like to ask the name of the AI you said can be used for school projects. So Adetoye, all the AI tools can be used for school projects. Like I said, it's all dependent on your prompt. But I said I personally believe that Grok is more descriptive when it comes to delineating some things with regards to what you are looking for. As much as ChatGPT will be very straightforward and probably will not go into details, Grok will go into details and even give you some examples to buttress that point, right? So Grok doesn't just stop at an explanation. It can give you examples. It will go further to better explain. It's unlike compared to ChatGPT, right? So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Adetoye.
Yes, you did. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Anyone? How do you think these? Or what are some takeaways from you from today's session? You can unmute. You can type it in the chat. Your views will be heard. And please kindly fill out the attendance form. It's very important to fill out the attendance form. It gives us a lot of information and also helps us get you the required documentation and slides if you want them. And also provide a link to the video, of course. So very helpful in reaching you, contacting you when the need arises. Any questions? Any additions? Everyone still with me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. In the absence of any questions, I'd like to ask a few before we call it a day. All right. I'd like to ask a few before we call it a day. Right. So, can you identify a business process in your day-to-day activity, or can you let them just be very general with it, right? Identify one process in your day-to-day activities that could benefit from automation and outline how AI could be applied to it. What process in your daily life could benefit from automation, and how can AI be applied to it?
Please, can you come again, sir?
So the question is, I want to be general with it. I don't want to be specific to a business, right? So the question is, identify a process, right, that could benefit from automation, and how do you apply AI to it? So if I was to give a scenario, I believe a day-to-day process would be probably making phone calls, right? Very good. Making phone calls is a very good scenario, right? So day in, day out, everybody makes phone calls, right? But we've gotten to a point in time where people on their phones, depending on the brand they are using, for the Apple users, they'll just say, "Hey Siri, call this person." And we know Siri is artificial intelligence. So Siri then goes ahead to go into the call log and calls this person, simplifying the process. So instead of me going to the call log and going to check or search for this person, immediately I say, Siri, do this for me. It's done. This is a process in daily life that can be automated and has made everything easier. So, what else can you say, or what other scenarios can you also um, put in place? Anybody? You can type in the chat. You can unmute to speak. You can type in the chat. You can unmute to speak. What processes do you think can be automated, and how do you think you can apply AI to it? Anybody? Okay, for organizations, what do you think? Which business processes for organizations can be automated, and what AI tools can do it, or how do we think we can apply AI to it for businesses? And some of these has unmuted. Do you want to speak? You feel free to speak, or if you have anything in the chat, you can put in
All
the
right.
chat.
I would like to bring out a scenario. For example, there's this new phase, let me say a new phase called YouTube automation, where you get to create content and upload them on YouTube. So in ways AI can help us now is to automate that process and make it a hands-free process where it can be generated with AIs like Grok, for example, in simulation with ChatGPT and some other AIs to make the work way easier and to be less to need less human control.
Yes, thank you very much. Very good. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, I'm putting some free tools in the chat section. Some of these tools also, you can take time to look at them, to also see how they help you um, in line with your work, right? So we have the generative tools, the predictive tools, the representative tools, and the likes, right? So I'm just putting a list of tools there. At your free time, you can go through them, see how they can better help you with your development. And so the tools are in the chat group. Um, and then, like I said, when it comes to prompting, like I said, garbage in, garbage out. So you have to be very good when it comes to prompting AI to get what you want, right? So I'm also going to drop a link in the group. Um, if I have the permission of my management from Transformative College, I'll drop a link in the group for how to better prompt AI. I believe during the sessions also, we'll have time to look at that. Just kindly give me a moment. Just trying to. During the course of the, we would look at that in the course of the study. Okay, sure. I've been given the green light to drop the link, so I'll just drop the link here. Right. So, any questions, any additions? Any questions, any additions before we call it a day? Yeah, so the facilitators will send them to the um, WhatsApp group. Once your name is
Yeah,
in the
it's been sent
attendance.
to the WhatsApp. So, sorry,
Okay.
Mr. Boateng. Sorry for cutting you. It's been sent to the links and the free AI tools have been sent to the WhatsApp group. A link to the WhatsApp group has also been sent. I will resend it right now. So if you're not a member of the WhatsApp group, kindly use this link to join the WhatsApp group so you can be updated on all the information, the materials, and the link for today's recorded class.
Okay. Okay. So, in the absence of any questions, I'd like to thank you very much for your time today. I hope today has been very insightful and a very good opportunity to deepen your insights on what AI is and what business analysis is. Like I said, this is the introductory part of the course, or this is the introduction to the journey that we have with you guys. So we'll go deep into it. So in the subsequent courses or in the subsequent meetings that we have, we'll be looking specifically at AI, especially the various AI tools that we have, and how to better get um, the right output from AI. First and foremost, how to get the right output from AI. Secondly, how to be able to build our own AI if there's a need for it. They also learn that in the course. So please do well to um, share the links to the classes with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues. You know, it's
All
as
right.
you're
Thank you
moving
very much,
up.
Mr. Boateng.
Wabina, please go ahead. You were saying something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that we should be able to share the links for the class to the subsequent meetings because it will be very deep and detailed in the subsequent ones since this was just an introductory class. So we couldn't do much today. So I'd just like to say that we should be able to share the links to our friends and family so that we can get more people on board and we can move up together. So thank you very much for your time today. Thank you very much, Transformation College, for the opportunity to have the introduction section for today. I'd like to hand over to you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Boateng. Please let us use this time to appreciate Mr. Boateng by thanking him via the chat box or unmuting your mic to speak to appreciate him or sending an emoji to appreciate him properly for this amazing session today. Hello, am I audible? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
All right. All right. So, like I said earlier, the link to the WhatsApp group has been sent to the chat box. If you are not on the WhatsApp group yet, use the link to get through to the WhatsApp group, and the attendance link has also been sent. Um, if you've not filled the attendance form, the link has been sent to the chat box. So please let us ensure that we all fill the attendance form. So moving forward, I really appreciate everyone for coming out for today's session, and I hope we will be able to see you and your family members because this course is something that you're supposed to share to even your loved ones, the people you hate, your friends, your colleague, share the course as much as possible so that they can all gain from this in-depth course and get value from Transformation College of Business and Technology. So the next session of this class will be next week, Friday. We'll be moving in deeper and be moving on topics that would require hands-on practical. So you will need to have your computer ready, your notes ready, and make sure that you have everything in check to dive into this process. And I really appreciate Mr. Boateng for this amazing session today. I was able to learn a whole lot. And I believe every one of us too was able to learn a lot of things. So I would like us to follow our YouTube channel. I'll be sending the link to our YouTube channel on the chat box. Please do well to follow our YouTube channel and make sure that you follow us on Facebook, also Instagram, on X, which is Twitter, and on LinkedIn. And coming up now, we have always also have a TikTok account where you can get update on everything about Transformation College, the courses, how the classes are going. And please do not forget that a recorded session, today's session, the recorded version will be sent to the WhatsApp group and also the material. So if you missed out anything, you
Damona, are you still speaking? Hello, Damona, are you there? Okay, all right, everyone. I will take over from Damola. We would like to thank you again for joining this session. And as we were pointing out, the link to the YouTube video where the recorded version of this class will be uploaded will be shared to the group. So please do well to stay tuned and check out the video in case you have to follow on with the program. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be bringing the program to the class to an end here. See you again next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, please.
I was taken up by the network. Okay.